Let's give another round of applause for Mr. Jim Butcher. We are just thrilled and so excited to have this New York Times bestselling author here with us this evening, signing his much anticipated ghost story. So I will not belabor the point. Without further ado, Mr. Jim Butcher.
Hi.
Hello.
Is it okay if we just do question and answer?
Sure.
All right, because sometimes they expect you to do a reading, and yeah, exactly. You guys can read.
Wait, what?
So let's just do that then. We'll start with that, and but for it to work, someone has to ask a question. Okay, right here.
Okay. Does Ivy know everything Bob knows?
Does Ivy know everything Bob knows? Man, talk about an obscure question. Does Ivy know everything Bob knows? Probably the vast majority of it, yeah. Although Ivy's more oriented on things that are actually happening on Earth, and Bob has sources all over. Okay. I mean, I've got the mic right up here. I'm doing my best. So I would say it's more an issue of they have different fields of information available to them. As much they don't like have a comparable database. So
Ivy doesn't get what Bob already has as soon as Bob gets it?
No. Okay. All right. Who's next? At the back with the glasses. What is the publishing goal for Cold Days? I don't know. It's due next June. I would anticipate it would probably be about this time. I'm not sure. I've got the first sentence written though, so that's the hard part. That's done. Now I've just got like 150,000 more words to go, and we'll be fine. Right here in black.
Have we seen the last of Lashiel?
Have we seen the last of Lashiel? No, her story's not over. Actually, she's mentioned in Ghost Story, although not by name. Right here.
Yes.
What's with the hat on all the covers of the books? Because Dresden never wears one. The art department at Penguin thought that was the perfect visual shorthand for wizard detective. Because he's got the wizard stick and the detective hat. So that's why they've done it. Right over here. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. What's a typical day of writing like for you? Like, how does it begin and all that stuff?
What's a typical day of writing for me? How does it begin and end and so on? I'll get up, 11:30, noon, somewhere. And I'll do like all day-to-day household chore errand stuff during that time during the afternoon there. I'll hang out with my wife in the evening, and we'll watch bad TV or good TV or whatever it is that appeals, or do whatever else we're doing. She'll go to bed around 10 or 11, and I'll start working. I'll work through until between 5 and 8 in the morning, and then I'll go to bed. So, and then she gets a chance to work after I go to bed. Then she gets up and she has a quiet house to work in, because 3 dimensions are not enough to keep us far enough away from each other so that we don't murder one another while we're working. We have to use time as well. Over here with the red wristband. Yeah, there. How come Marsters isn't doing the audio on Ghost Story? I don't know. He had to cancel at the last minute. I'm not sure exactly why. I know that they called me on Friday night at 6 and said, we have to find an actor who is willing to do this in New York over Memorial Day weekend with some connection to the science fiction field by noon tomorrow. And all that considered, John Glover was a fairly good option. They were going to get Luke Perry to do it first. Apparently based on the reasoning that he was in the Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie, just like James was in the Buffy the Vampire Slayer TV show, and I just kind of had to stop and look at my email and not hit the caps lock key before I started replying. Trust me, it's not the same thing. But I liked Glover. He plays my favorite Satan ever in Brimstone.
Yes.
So.
And Smallville.
Oh, and he's Lionel Luthor in Smallville, sure. No. Right here.
How much magical theory do you read?
How much magical theory do I read? A bit, not a whole ton. I mostly read over the stuff that I think would be good for drama, and steal it from there. Yeah, I mean, I'm a thief. I steal things left and right. Even when I think I've come up with something totally cool, like Bob the Skull, I thought, oh wow, he was totally cool. Until I actually stopped and watched the opening segment of the old Scooby-Doo cartoon. It's like, oh, it came from there. Right here.
What happened to Toot Toot?
What happened to Toot Toot?
Where is he? Is he getting pizza?
Yeah, I get to do this I only get to do this actually to the faces of the reader so often. I'm not gonna tell you.
Yes.
Because it's way more fun to read in the book. And
Pizza though, right?
and you'll maybe not. No, you don't know yet. But the next book is gonna be much concerned with fairies, and so definitely Toot Toot will be participating. Yeah, okay, right here.
Since you're an RPGer, do you play the Dresden role-playing game?
Do I play the Dresden Files role-playing game? That seems a reasonable question. And the answer is, I'm the one person in the world who cannot play the Dresden Files. Because if I'm a player, I mean, really, imagine being my GM, trying to argue. No, it is that way, and if necessary, I'll write it that way in the next book. Might be impossible. But if I try and GM it, too much like work. So, right here, blue shirt.
Sir, who's first on Mav's hit list?
Who's first on Mab's hit list? That'll be another I'm not going to tell you, because we'll find out in chapter 1 of the next book. As soon as I write it, I gotta write it first. Right here.
Yes, how close is your personality to Harry's?
How close is my personality to Harry's personality? Harry is the guy I would like to think I would be if someone handed me his kind of power, but I think I would really wind up one of those giggling villains. Other than that, we're not terribly similar. We share a taste in T-shirts and Burger King, and then that's about it. But
Follow up, the lady was talking about, well, you decided if the GM says screw around with you. Are you planning on running any more material in the near future for the Dresden Files RPG?
am I planning on writing any more material in the near future for the Dresden Files RPG? What were you saying? I don't know. My plate's been kind of crazy full lately, partially reflected in the fact that this book took a longer time to get done than we anticipated. Maybe. I certainly have no objection to the idea in theory, but as it turns out, theory and real world don't always get along, especially when the calendar gets involved. So, potentially we'll be doing something. And I know I'm already beginning to answer questions and emails as they're putting new things together. So, and I have to read over it and say, no, don't talk about that. Well, yes, but obviously from these 3 facts we lined up together, this is what's going to happen next. I'm like, yeah, I know, but don't put it there because I haven't put it in the book yet. The guys running the RPG are sharp.
Yeah.
White shirt right here.
You seem to have established in the books that Morgan's sword is the one used for executions. It's the executioner's sword. Does it predate Lucio?
I've established in the books, I seem to have established in the books that Morgan's sword is the one used for execution. It's the executioner's sword. Does it predate?
Lucio.
Oh, does it predate Lucio? No. Morgan's sword was used because Morgan was the guy who would do it and not have nightmares afterwards. Yeah, Morgan, or actually, in point of fact, he probably did have nightmares afterwards, but he would tell everybody that he didn't. He was one of those guys who was very big on the don't ever give somebody an order that you wouldn't follow yourself sort of line of thought. So lopping off heads, sure, absolutely, somebody has to do it. And that's kind of the kind of guy he was. I mean, kind of a jerk. He had some redeeming features to him. Right back here. Yeah.
Is Harry Dresden going to make it to the screen again?
Is Harry Dresden going to make it to the screen again? I am willing to forgive Hollywood. For The Sorcerer's Apprentice. just saying, if you take the poster from the comic book, I'm just saying they look somewhat similar. And Nick Cage is the only guy in Hollywood I absolutely know has read the Dresden Files. If it had been anybody but him, I wouldn't have been suspicious at all. I do have the rights back from Universal now, so they're available. There have been people who have approached me about it, but the saying goes, they're never serious until the check clears. So there's always talk. Let me get some folks at the back. Right here, dark curly hair.
If you had a choice, who would you have play Harry on screen?
If I had a choice, who would I have play Harry on screen? Oh man, I don't know. I would want somebody who could do the part well. He wouldn't necessarily have to look like Dresden for me to be really happy. It could be Will Smith just for the sheer lip off. Because he's a character he's very, very good at pulling off that character. He will say, the worst thing he could possibly say at the worst time to the worst person every time. He's good at that. Captain Tight Pants would do the self-humiliation. So, if Nathan ever gets bored of having his own Star series that he's in, we can go talk to him. Right here, gray shirt.
Do you think Murphy will pick up the sword for good?
Do I think Murphy will pick up the sword for good? I'm not gonna tell you. Because that's no fun. Why find out about it when it happens? That's the good part of the story. Right here.
Do you still find time to LARP while you have to write?
Do I still find time to LARP while I have to write? Indeed. And I play it. I took my fortune that I should have spent on the Lamborghini or something, from what everybody told me, and bought a LARP farm. It's cool. It's like 160 acres, about 140 of which is 200-year-old forest. It looks like Last of the Mohicans in there. It's awesome.
Shannon might have problems with that.
Send me an email. But yeah, I still LARP at the Central Chapter in Heroic, and I played 3 games since the beginning of the summer. I had to take the last couple off, but after I get home, there's a big 12-day event. 12 days. Wow, that's more hardcore than I want to do. But I think I'm going to show up for the last 4 or 5 in Tennessee. So, in the Dresden hat. The Dresden hat.
I'm also a fan of the Codex Alera book, so I was wondering, what are the chances of you writing another series?
What are the chances of me writing another Alera series? Or just another series in general?
Just another series.
100%, because I have to get a break from that Dresden guy or I hate him. By the time I get to the end of the book, I was like, man, I am so sick of hanging out with you. It's not that he's a bad guy or anything. It's just like, when you have family come to visit, in the first, 3-4 days, it's great. And then, and after that, it's just a ticking clock until somebody picks up a knife. But yeah, I'm working on a trilogy right now that is probably going to be the prequel trilogy for my epic fantasy epic that I'm going to write one day.
Yes.
It's so epic, it needs a prequel trilogy. And it's largely inspired by the Black Company. So,
Nice.
let's see, back here, pink shirt. Yeah.
Who's your favorite author?
Who is my favorite author? Robert Parker. I probably should have said Shannon, but she wouldn't have believed it because I haven't read her stuff.
This is going online.
I used to when she was still working up to being the writer. I would read her stuff and critique it for her. But she and I the last time we wrote something together was our junior year of